Girls?
No. Alright girls, so proportion. So we could find direct proportion and inverse proportion in a pretty basic sense so far. This is going into more detail and we're going to start to bring in something called the constant of proportionality. So if variables are in proportion, they change at a constant rate. There's a constant multiplier. So here we go. Direct proportion. So here's an example. The amount raised for charity is 5 times the number of people in the event. Each time a new person enters the event, $5 more is raised. In this case, we would say that M, which is the money raised, is equal to 5 multiplied by P, which is the number of people. Everyone happy with that? Makes sense? So that if there's one person, you're going to raise 5 times $1. If there's 500 people, you're going to raise 5 multiplied by 500. Okay? Makes sense. So 5, therefore, would be our constant of proportionality. It's what is multiplied each time. Okay? Because as the number of people increase, so does the amount of money that's raised. Okay? Oh gosh. Now, the constant of proportionality is usually given the letter K. No idea why, it just is. Okay? So the constant of proportionality is given the letter K. In examination, you'll be asked to find that constant of proportionality, having been given sufficient information to do so. You just follow the same steps, and she says it's easy. Let's hope you find it. So. I've gone anywhere.
Alright, am I?
What page is this on?
What does it say?
Does it say all this? It doesn't.
It misses the last sentence, so it stops at and is usually given the letter K.
Oh, I apologize.
Because it didn't finish up the quotations either. For what?
That's weird. And it just has a writing view.
I read the view.
Well, cover up.
That's weird. Okay. So it's given the letter K. So the constant of proportionality is K. Now, hopefully you've seen this symbol here. This is the symbol that we use to indicate that something is proportional to. So I like to call it half the fish sign, or half the infinity, or actually I call it the fish sign. You know, like the religious Christian fish thing. I think it kind of looks like that. But it's half an infinity sign. So don't stress about drawing it. Just do something that looks kind of like it. Okay. Right. Can I move on?
Yes, sir. Oh shit, that was bad.
So these are the steps to follow. Julia, I'm not really sure that you meant to say that.
What?
I said, oh shoot.
I did, I swear.
That didn't sound like it.
No, I did.
Okay, so it says,
I swear I did.
these are the steps that we need to follow. So first of all, we write the given variables in a proportion statement using the symbol. Okay, we're going to use that symbol. Then we're going to replace that symbol with the letter, with equals K. You're then going to input the 2 values that have been given in the question to allow you to find the value of K and rewrite the proportional statement as a formula. Okay. Now, the tricky thing is that people seem to get confused and they get a little bit hung up on the information that they're given. So, what is wrong with this board? It's doing my nutting.
The bloody board.
Here.
They're rude. And so, I think it's offensive. Do you think it's like offensive if people talk in a British accent?
No, I'm not offended by it, but
I don't know, I feel like if I was British and then someone said that to me, I'd be like,
let's
Just find pink.
Okay, so we're going to find, now, this is what you have to be careful with. So the question here has said, find a formula for y in terms of x. Okay, great. So we're finding a formula. They don't always ask you to do that. Sometimes they go straight into find the value of y when x is 6. Okay? So you have to be careful here that for each proportional question, you're going to need to do this first step, whether they've asked for it or not. Does that make sense? So they may not specifically ask you to find a formula, but you will always need to do so when it's a proportional question. Okay? So, but they have asked us to find a formula. So, step A, part A. First thing is that we know that x and y are directly proportional. So, I'm going to say that y is proportional to x. That should be one of the easiest things to write. Y is proportional to x. Now, the step 2 asks us to replace the proportional sign with equals k. So we're now going to write y equals k x. Okay, so all I've done is replace the proportional sign with equals k.
But does that still say y is directly proportional to x?
Yes, because we've got this value k.
So k, the equals k and the sign are exactly the same.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter which one we use?
Yeah, well it does, because this is not a formula. Because a formula has to have an equal sign. Okay? You cannot work with this as it is, because we don't know how it changes each time. We know it is in proportion, but we don't know how much. So for example, one thing could increase and the other one, as one increases the other one doubles, as one increases the other it's 10 times bigger. So you need to have this information in order to work everything out.
Okay.
Okay, so whilst it indicates it's still proportional, we need to know the specific value for k. Now, each question will give you some additional information. The additional information for this question is that, deep breath. Now I don't even know where my Ujima Watson's gone. They've told us that when x is 4, y is 10. Okay, can you all see that that's in the original question?
Yeah.
So they've told us that information to allow us to find k. So, what is it? Y is 10?
Y is...
So y is 10, my equals k is still there, and what's the value of x?
4.
Thanks. So notice I've just substituted in those two values. The y is 10 and the x is 4. Now, y is only going to be 10 when x is 4 for this particular question. You're only going to use those two numbers, the 10 and the 4, to find the value of k. That's what some people mess up, and they keep the 10 and the 4 there the whole time, and you mustn't. Okay? So how would I rearrange this to find the value of k?
5 by 4.
Good. Actually, maybe I should do this. So the value of k is 2.5. Remember, it doesn't matter which side the k is on. So I know the value of k is 2.5. Our final step is to substitute this number in place of my k back here. So my final answer is that y is equal to 2.5x. So y is equal to 2.5x. That's the formula that we're now going to use for the remainder of the question. Okay? Now, it may be, I'm sure it won't be, but it may be the case that you make a mistake in this. That's totally fine as long as you use your formula for the rest of the question. If you don't use your formula, then there's going to be problems. Okay? So, part B says that they want us to do find a formula, using formula, work out the value of y when x is 6. So when x is 6, y is equal to 2.5 multiplied by 6. So now it's literally a basic situation where you're substituting in values in, which is 15. Part C. They've asked us to find x when y is 8. So now when y is 8. So we're now saying that 8 is equal to 2.5x. So we're only substituting in the values that they've given us. I've rearranged that to find x by
Dividing by 2.
Dividing by 2.
divided by 2.5. So x is, I actually don't know what that is on mine.
Me neither.
Which one is that?
8 divided by 2.5. Pardon? Thanks. So x is 3.2. So there we go, that's that question done. Nice?
Yeah.
It come flooding back to us having done it before?
Yes.
Yes. Who said no?
Said hello.
Daddy said.
I'll stick through my bottom. I'm so sorry.
A better joy than a winner.
Alright, next one. V is directly proportional to the cube of W. So you've got to be careful to read these questions carefully. So, again, they have asked us to find a formula, so that's good. So V in terms of W. So we're saying V is proportional to the cube of W. What do I write?
W cubed.
Nice. Same situation, we replace that fish symbol with equals K. So we're going to write V equals K W cubed. Julia, you had a question or you were just going to tell me?
I figured it out.
Okay, good.
Good person.
Yes.
Can I please, sorry, this is kind of off topic, but my thing's about to die. Can I plug it in?
Yeah, quick. So V is equal to K W cubed. What do I do now, Debbie? Nice. Which numbers have they given us?
16 and 2.
Good. So they told us V is 16. Oh, I don't know, I've got two equal signs there. So 16 is equal to K, and then W is 2. So literally subbing in those values, and this is allowing us to find the value of K.
No. What do you want for a second?
Oh, I have orange.
You think I'm saying strong?
Right, so 16 is equal to, oh, for goodness sake. 16 is equal to K times 8. I can't change colours now because it's just driving me up the wall. So then we're going to divide both sides by 8, so that K is 2, yes?
Oh, wait, never mind.
And then that has enabled us to put this value back up to here. So our formula for this one is V is equal to 2W cubed. Okay, that's our formula. Every time the two values they've given us is just to be able to find the value of K.
Oh, so you're just trying to find the constant?
Yes.
So when it says so it says V is proportional to W cubed, why would we do that when it changes the equal sign? Is it because you're putting it
Because we need to have a formula.
Alright.
Okay, and having the proportional symbol is not a formula. Julia, Elsa. So there's our formula down. They've then asked us to find some information. They've asked us to find V when W is 3. So when W is 3, V is equal to 2 lots of 3 cubed. Remember, always use their maths. So we need to do the 3 cubed and then multiply by 2. Don't do 2 times 3 and then cube it. Okay? So that's 3 cubed is
No, 27.
27. Multiply by 2.
54.
Nice. Good little maths, Hayley.
That was me.
Oh, Julia, I'm so sorry. You lot all sound similar. I have to say Hayley often is my mental maths queen.
But
So I apologise if you lost track.
but 9 times 2.
That's right, but 3 cubed isn't 9, is it, Angel? What does 3 cubed mean?
27 times 2.
No, what does 3 cubed mean?
Mental math. 3 times 3.
Yeah, 3 times 3 is... Times 3 is...
27.
Okay, that's what we got for
What's
27.
128?
Yeah?
Julia, what's 128
Okay.
divided by 2?
So C They've asked to find
128 divided by 2.
W is 128. So we know that 128 is equal to 2 lots of W cubed. Right, so this is where you've got to be careful. What do we move first? What do we undo
We
first?
divide by the 2.
Good, we're going to divide by 2
And then we
first.
find the cubed root.
So 128 divided by 2 is 64. And then, thank you, the cube root gets the undoing of the cubed. So that's the cube root of 64. Does anyone know what number multiplied by 4 times? Thank you. So W equals 4. Okay?
I'm just so smart.
So, I'm pretty sure that your part C and C are going to be fine as long as you've been able to establish this first equation. Okay? And that formula or equation is important. It's important to use the values they've given you. Once you've used those values, you kind of ignore them. Okay, so try and get out of your head that those values are super important. Once you've got your value K, you ignore them. All right, the next one, I believe, is inverse proportion. Right, so inverse proportion, totally the same method. The only difference is that you don't write y is proportional to x or whatever it might be. We say y. Oh, it's free trader today.
Can we do this one by ourselves?
Yeah, actually, I love that because that means I don't have to do.
But can we only do A?
No, you have to do the whole thing.
You're just completely committed.
I'm not like
It's 100.
Alright, let's make sure that everyone's got this. So it says y is directly proportional to the square of the time taken. So y is proportional to t squared. Y equals k t squared. We're told that 20 meters have fallen in 2 seconds. So 20 equals k times 2 squared. 20 equals k times 4. Divide both sides by 4. So k is 5. So our formula is y is equal to 5t squared. Did everyone get that?
yes.
No? What did you do wrong?
I don't know, I keep mixing them up. So at first I did the T in front and I squared the Y. No.
Okay, so you need to make sure you're reading the question carefully and looking to see which thing's squared.
Yeah,
Okay?
okay.
Equals 4 points.
So, then they want the distance traveled through in 3 seconds. So it's going to be y is equal to 5 times 3 squared. So it's going to be 9 times 5, which is 45 meters. Yes, we all get that? And then the time taken is for 100 meters. So you've got 100 equals 5t squared. We know we have to divide by 5 first. So that gives 20 equals 5, equals t squared. And so it's going to be t is the square root of 20. That's not a nice number, you can leave it like that if you wish.
Okay, well, if you round it up, it's just 4.5. So.
Normally we would do 3CB.
So 3.4.
How'd you get 4.5?
4.47.
4.4, I was going to say.
I was
Alright, so we're good with that, yes?
Yes, sir, my guy.
As I started to say, inverse proportion is exactly the same kind of method. The only difference is that now you're going to have 1 over whatever they say. Okay? So proportional sign still goes first. We're given values to find k. And then we're going to use our formula. So two quantities, x and y, are inversely proportional. So we need to find a formula for y in terms of x. So first statement, y is proportional to 1 over x. Because it's inversely proportional.
Wait, why do you, like, just like, why is the one there?
Pardon?
Inversely.
Why?
Because it's inversely proportional. Because remember, as one thing increases, the other decreases. Remember yesterday when we were doing direct proportion, we were multiplying stuff, and the inverse you tend to divide.
Okay.
That's all
We
connected
love
to
you,
that.
Texas.
Oh.
Okay?
Yeah.
So is K1?
No. So now we need to stop doing that. Now we need to again change our proportional sign to be K. So what we could do is write y equals K times 1 over x. Okay, we could write that. Because that would be the same as before. So it's y equals k, so the proportional sign has been changed to be equals k. But that looks a bit untidy and a bit confusing. And we know that if we have something here multiplied by a fraction, this is secretly over 1. And so these two can be merged to be y equals k over x. So that's what you're going to generally write. Okay, so rather than 1 over x, you're going to now change it to be equals k over x.
Can, like, instead of, like, figuring it out, saying, like, oh, y is 1 over x, can we just put y equals kx?
Yes, I'm just explaining, because some people are like, oh, why do you do that? And people make mistakes with thinking that 1 is now k is 1, and they get all confused. So I'm trying to show you what's happened to the 1, essentially. We've just merged it in with the k.
Okay.
It's okay if you write it like 1.
Totally fine, yes. Alright, so we've got y is equal to k over x. We're then told 2 bits of information. We're told that x is 3, y is 4. So when x is 3, y is 4. So 4 is equal to k over
3.
3.
What?
How do we find k? People often make mistakes here.
Times 3 and times
Good girl. Multiply both sides by 3. So k is 12. And our formula for this one is y is equal to 12 over x. Okay? Now, as you may have noticed, I like to put a box around my formula every time I've done it. Now, each of these questions has asked us to find the formula. I can't stress enough, a lot of the questions don't, but you still need to find the formula. Okay? So make sure that you are aware that that always needs to happen. Okay, next part says, using your formula, work out y when x is 2. So y is equal to 12. Oh, not x, it's x squared, isn't it?
Is it?
No, it's just x. Shut up, doing different question. Different question.
Don't talk to yourself
Sorry.
in that negative way, Miss Harrison.
Sorry, what did I say?
You told yourself to shut up.
Oh. So y is equal to 12 over 2, so y is equal to 6. And the last one is...
Oh, yes.
Is times x from y is 3. So we'd say 3 is equal to 12 over x. Okay, how do we find x when it's another thing on the bottom?
Switch. Stop.
Good, we're going to switch these two. You said that been Julia. Thanks for the assistance, Erin. So x is equal to 12 over 3, which is 4. Okay? Happy with that?
Yeah.
Is that for B? Is that for B?
Yes. C, maybe. B is 6. Here, just here. Y is equal to 12 over 2, which is 6.
Wait, Miss Harrison. How many days are in November?
30.
Um,
Those time practice days.
it goes January, February, March, April,
we
May.
can discuss it afterwards. Right, next example, n varies. Okay, now, I've put this one in because sometimes they use different kind of phrases. So it says varies inversely. Okay, so it doesn't use the word proportion, but we know that it means the same thing. So if it has the word varies, it means the same as proportional. So n varies inversely with the square of n. So we want to say M is proportional to 1 over, now it's the square of n, so we would write n squared. Okay? M varies inversely with the square of n. So m is proportional to 1 over n squared. We change the proportional sign, so it becomes m equals k over n squared. We need to find k, so we use the values they've given us. So m is 4 when n is 3.
Why is it always 3 squared? They always do that.
M is 4, basic numbers, when n is 3. So how do we find k? We need to multiply 4 by 3 squared, yes?
Which is 36. 4 times 9, which is 36.
Yep, so this is going to be 4 is equal to k over 9. So I'm avoiding writing too much or moving the board too much. So 3 squared multiplied by 4 is equal to k. So k is 36. So our formula for this is m equals 36 over n squared.
Okay, you know how you times by 3 squared on both sides?
Yeah.
Could you just times by 36 on both? I'm not doing my math on both sides.
Yes.
Okay.
So there's our formula, m is 36 over n squared.
Can we do B?
Let me push off the AC. Just for a wee bit.
So we need to find m when n is 2. So m is equal to 36 over 2 squared. So m is equal to 36 over 4 is 9. And we need to find n when m is 1. Again, sorry about the mess, but I'm trying to avoid moving the board. So we've got 1 is equal to 36 over n squared. So remember to find n, we switch these two, so it becomes n squared is equal to 36 over 1.
You can switch it when it's n squared.
Yeah. We switch it when there's anything. It'll be n plus 7.
When can you
if you like.
switch it?
Pardon?
So when can you switch it though?
You can.
When your unknown is on the bottom, so even if it's with something else, you move the whole thing up here. Okay? So our n squared is now 36 over 1, which hopefully you'll appreciate is 36. So n is going to be the square root of 36.
Which is 6.
Okay?
We harmonized also.
Alright, ladies.
Here's another one for this.
Oh, of course. Can we just not do it? We've done enough.
I'm giving it. Let's just ditch it. I hate this board anyway.
Why don't you get one of the other ones?
Hate is a very strong word.
Well, I do hate this board.